am Story Teller 64, and as you can see from that introduction, we are playing Mass Effect. And as you know in the graphics, it is the original Mass Effect, specifically the PlayStation 3 version. This is not the Xbox version, in case people were wondering. I hope you guys are ready for one interesting game for those who have never played or even don't really know anything about Mass Effect. It is a very interesting game, very story driven, so these are going to be some long episodes. So let's kind of not waste too much time and get rolling on this. I get my previous things already there, that's good. Well, anyway, we're going to be beginning a new career on this adventure, and I hope you're ready for, again, it's a very amazing game series. It's, I mean, the fact that it got something called the Legendary Edition for its remake, kind of says something. This is a very well-known and very beloved game series.
Welcome to Alliance Military Database.
And I love you too.
Classified information requested.
Alrighty then.
Establishing secure connection. Secure connection confirmed.
Alright, so basically just no big surprise here, but this is kind of a game where you can also create your own character. And, well, that's what we're going to be kind of doing real quick. We're going to be making ourselves a character. So we're going to be the first episode, literally just be making our first character. And let's see. We're going to be exiting, we're going to be getting a new ID. Alrighty, so we're going to have to do a custom Shepard.
Please log in to access your profile.
And being perfectly honest, I'm one of those guys that I know a lot of people like to make some crazy name for a big laugh or something, but honestly, I just like sticking with the good old-fashioned default names. I'm not really what you call the most creative one, though I don't know, maybe I'll do some name changing later, I don't know. I'll probably have to put some names in when characters don't have existing names, of course. But, John Shepard, that's a good name.
Warning, data corruption detected. Please reconstruct profile.
For the future, you think they would do a better job of making sure files don't get corrupted.
Confirm pre-service history.
Alright, so basically, now we gotta create basically like our backstory for our character. Well, not create, but choose our backstory. These kind of do and like have some effect on some aspects of the story, pretty much, like saying like who knows Shepard or who doesn't, and basically creating like a story for our character. Basically, kind of give us some basics, like maybe it's like a foundation for our character first, and then pretty much you just gotta play the character out after that. So let's begin with the first pre-service history record with Spacer. Both your parents were in the Alliance military. Your childhood was spent on ships and stations as they transferred from posting to posting, never staying in one location for more than a few years. Following your parents' footsteps, you enlisted at the age of 18. It's pretty basically, of course, saying, making Shepard kind of like a military kid. And honestly, just kind of saying those, I mean, I basically never kind of went to that, but that would kind of suck, basically, thinking about it. You have to kind of move from place to place. So any military kid had to go to that, sorry if you guys had to go to that, but I hope you have hope you had a lot of fun doing that, meeting new people. You guys see a lot of places too when you think about it. Now we go to Columnist. You were born and raised on Midor. I don't know, I really don't know how to pronounce that, honestly. A small border colony in the Attican Traverse. When you were 16, slavers raided your colony, slaughtering your family and friends. You were saved by a passing Alliance patrol, and you enlisted in the military in a few years later. So, yeah, kind of a bit of a crappy background there for if you kind of look at that. I mean, yeesh. Surviving a slaver raid, that's not good. And basically kind of saying, though, it would make your character a little bit more tougher if you kind of think about it. Now, Earthbound. This one I like because this is literally like the shortest one here. You were an orphan raised on the streets of the great metropolises covering Earth. You escaped the life of petty crime and underworld gangs by enlisting in the Alliance military when you turned 18. So, pretty much, no family, and basically you were kind of a punk back then, and now you just try and make a better, be a better person by enlisting in the military. Now, being perfectly honest, I kind of like the idea of the whole Earthborn thing. Kind of seems like a more interesting background for Shepard, in all fairness. I mean, Spacer and Colonists are pretty good, but, I mean, let's face it, growing up a hard life, and trying to do something better with your life, kind of just seems a little bit more of an interesting story. No, nothing decent for anyone to pick the other two backstories.
Confirm psychological profile.
Now, psychological profile. This one kind of also has a bit of an effect on your character too, if I kind of remember correctly. I mean, this still gives you a established backstory, and again, it will kind of make it to where certain characters will know who you are, while some people won't. For example, right here we got Lone Survivor. During your service on a mission you were on, went horribly wrong, trapped in an extreme survival situation, you had to overcome physical torment and psychological stresses that would have broken most people. You survived while all those around you fell, and now you alone are left to tell the tale. Kind of a bit of, how it goes for a lot of people in the service when you kind of think about it. Some people went through some very tough stuff, and, let's face it, for some people in the service, you gotta give them respects for going through a lot of crappy situations and basically walking out of there alive and surviving. I mean, it's something you really gotta think about, too, when you think about people in the service. But, let's see. Now, next we go into the next one. Sorry, I had to quick check something. War Hero. Early in your military career, you found yourself facing with overwhelming enemy forces. You risked your own life to save your fellow soldiers and defeat the enemy despite the impossible odds. Your bravery and heroism have earned you medals and recognition from the Alliance forces. Like I say, another kind of aspect, war hero, so that's kind of another kind of thing to look at. Which, there are some fair number of war heroes, we can't really argue with that. And basically, finally, we get to the last one, Ruthless. Throughout your military career, you have held fast one basic rule: get the job done. You've been called cold, calculated, and brutal. Your reputation for ruthlessness, efficiency made your fellow soldiers wary of you. But when failure is not an option, the military always goes to you first. Pretty much also another kind of standard when you kind of think about military-esque characters. So basically, kind of again makes you wonder what to go with. Me personally, I find the Lone Survivor kind of a good situation. I mean, when you kind of just think about it, I think Lone Survivor and Earthborn kind of go well together when you kind of think about one which never having a hard life and trying to make something better for yourself, and then, well, when you think about it, I mean, some people who try and make a better life, when they get off the streets, don't exactly have the easiest assignments, and then things will go horribly wrong real fast. But I mean, a war hero kind of sounds nice, and ruthless just sounds like, a ruthless soldier, but they got the job done. But a soul survivor is someone who at least has an outlook on trying to survive. And, well, survival is a pretty good thing to have when you actually are out there. And again, I'm just saying, these things do actually have some effect on your character, again, with his backstory and people you'll be interacting with.
Confirm military specialization.
Now we come to one of those bigger parts of this game, is the classes you gotta choose from. The classes basically kind of affect what kind of abilities you have, how effective your character will be in certain situations, and so on and so forth. As you can see, he's holding what is an assault rifle, which it's kind of an interesting assault rifle, but I'm pretty sure some actual gun looks close to that in design. If you basically go with some classes, they actually will have the access to use the assault rifle unique abilities. And yes, I mean, weapons do have powers or special abilities that make them basically kind of deal more damage in some situations. But that's only with some weapons. Some weapons just have like a big powerful attack that just kind of just destroys things. But let's begin with the first and kind of your most basic class when it comes to any kind of basically any RPG. When you kind of think about it, we got the soldier. Soldiers are combat specialists, ideal for front line of firefight. Soldiers get improved health, can train in the use of all weapon types, start with the ability to use medium armor, and can specialize in heavy armor. So basically, you're a general, like, you know, bulky kind of warrior class. And like I said, any weapon, you're proficient in any weapon, so you can basically improve your ability to use every type of weapon in the game, and you basically make them stronger by improving your skills in those weapons. Pretty good. And basically saying, you know, you got like the most health out of anyone, so you can basically take a lot more punishment than most other classes. But then we, of course, you know, some people just won't want to be that straightforward. Some people want to do our classes, which that's what we're going to be looking over next. Sorry about that. Engineers are tech specialists. Using holographic Omni tool, which is the thing you can see glowing on their hand there, they can decrypt the security systems, repair or modify technical equipment, disrupt enemy weapons or shields, and heal their squad. Engineers can only use light armor and can only receive weapon training in pistols. So, like I said, compared to Soldier, you pretty much only get access to pistols, which in Mass Effect there is a grand total of 4 different weapons in the first game. So, being down to only just a pistol, not a whole lot, but the pistol does have a good ability in it. Now, of course, like I said, disrupt and sabotage enemy weapons, make it to where enemies can't shoot their guns, or you can basically make it to where they don't have shields. That is, of course, unless they have some super strong shields, then you're pretty much only going to be able to whittle them down bit by bit, which is still a good thing. Also saying that they're good at healing, so basically, if you like playing the support role, then an engineer is kind of for you. Especially if you kind of like being a medic too, so. But now we go to Adept. Adepts are biotic specialists. Though through upgradable implants, they can use biotic powers to lift or throw objects, shield the squad, and disable or destroy enemies. Adepts can only use light armor and can only receive weapon training in pistols. You're going to see a fair amount of pistol training in this game with some of these classes, but Adepts, they are basically kind of literally like the whole mage class, and this one uses space magic. Of course, you know, they say it's a whole scientific aspect because Mass Effect is a sci-fi game, but let's face it, it's space magic. It's definitely space magic. So, anywho, this is basically like your mage, and basically, again, you only learn pistol abilities, but you have a lot of biotic abilities. Like I said, lift, throw, and basically create shields, which are good. Which basically, again, very good support role for basically those who like being supports. Now, the Infiltrator. These ones are a little more interesting. Infiltrators can combine combat and tech abilities to specialize in killing or disabling enemies at a long range. Infiltrators are trained to use Omni tools and focus on description and offensive abilities rather than healing. They can use pistols or sniper rifles and medium armor. So basically, if you like picking off enemies from a distance, snipers are the Infiltrator is kind of your thing because they are, like I said, good with sniper rifles. But again, you know, pistols and sniper rifles only are your only weapons choice as well. Again, you can use all weapons in the game, but if you're really only going to be really good with a rifle or a pistol. So basically, saying pistol is good, you know, mid to close range. Rifle is good for your long range. And like I said, more offensive. They don't have any healing abilities or skills. You can still heal your squad mates. That's actually still always a good thing because even they say the character can, you know, specialize in healing, you can still heal your squad mates because that's just kind of how the game is. You can still heal them, you just don't get abilities that improve your healing capabilities. Now we get to the Sentinel. These guys are also pretty interesting too. Sentinels combine biotic and tech abilities. Typically, they use biotic abilities to advance healing skills to defend allies, though they can also disrupt opponents with biotic and tech attacks. They are more efficient at tech and biotic than other classes, but at the expense of combat. Sentinels can only use light armor and receive no advanced weapons training. So this is basically, again, another very strong support class, and those of you people who like to use abilities more than anything, this is definitely kind of more like your class. You are, a good support unit, but also a good offensive unit with biotics and tech abilities. Well, it's not like I was saying like Texas. I don't know, it's popped in my head when I said that, but anywho, like I said, this is basically a good, very support and also even good attack class when you kind of think about it, with the ability to use both biotic and tech. But again, you receive no weapons training, so you won't be great by using a lot of weapons, but again, you will be very good at tech and biotics. Now we get to the Vanguard. Vanguards are bionic warriors. They combine biotic and weapons to take down opponents. They are especially deadly at close range. They use pistols and shotguns and can specialize in medium armor. These guys are, like I said, these are the up close and personal classes. They can use biotic abilities, but they definitely are very deadly with a shotgun, which personally is kind of more my choice in a fair amount of shooters, is a good old-fashioned shotgun. Don't say I don't appreciate a good assault rifle, sniper rifle, or pistol, but I like a shotgun. Shotguns are good. Good addition to a lot of damage up close and personal. And this is the class I will be playing as, basically, the good old Vanguard.
Confirm facial identification.
Oh geez, now we get to the fun part where we can make a horrible, horrible monster. So I'll be ready to see that.
Profile reconstruction complete.
Okay, I lied. But yeah, John Shepard, Earthborn, Soul Survivor, and Vanguard. I know a lot of people are going to be saying like, oh geez, you pretty much the only thing you did that was from the default class is change the class. Or default Shepard is change class. And yeah, maybe so, but I mean, like, I just kind of like the origins and the reputation. And I just like the Vanguard class. I just like how it works, and it just fits me a little bit better. Granted, I really haven't tried a lot of the other classes myself, but I don't know, with me, when I first played Vanguard, it just clicked. So, anywho, time for us to kind of jump into this story and get ready for a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of dialogue in this game. And once you made this, I can't make any changes, so yeah, we're going in.
Identification confirmed.
Oh yeah, of course, we gotta basically make sure everything's all set for our gameplay, and yeah, everything looks good. We're playing on hardcore. Must be, hardcore must be unlocked. Most enemies scale based on the player's level. All enemies protection, bosses have immunities. I'll kind of run this real quick. Base protections means like enemies will definitely have shields, so get ready for that. And have immunities means you can't put poison or any like weird stats ailments on these guys. So bosses are going to be a little tricky. What's that? Sorry about that. Well, anyway, so we got everything all set and ready to go. Let's do this. We're going to be seeing this loading screen a lot, by the way.
Well, what about Shepard? Earthborn, but no record of his family.
Doesn't have one. He was raised on the streets, learned to look out for himself.
He saw his whole unit die on a cruise. He could have some serious emotional scars.
Every soldier has scars. Shepard's a survivor.
Is that the kind of person we want protecting the galaxy?
That's the only kind of person who can protect the galaxy.
I'll make the call.
In the year 2148, explorers on Mars discovered remains of an ancient spacefaring civilization. In the decades that followed, these mysterious artifacts received stars new technologies enabling travel to further stars. Based on the incredible technology that was forced to control the various fabric of space-time, they called this great discovery. Okay, basically short Mass Effect. They call this stuff Mass Effect. Science technology that made us where you can travel space better.
The Arcturus Prime relay is in range. Initiating transmission sequence.
Commander?
We are connected. Calculating transit mass and destination. The relay is hot. Acquiring approach vector. All stations secure for transit. The board is green. Approach run has begun. Hitting the relay in 3, 2, 1. Thrusters, check. Navigation, check. Internal emissions sync engaged. All systems online. Drift, just under 1500K.
1500 is good. Your captain will be pleased.
I hate that guy.
Nihilus gave you a compliment, so you hate him.
You remember to zip up your jumpsuit on the way out of the bathroom? That's good. I just jumped us halfway across the galaxy and hit a target the size of a pinhead, so that's incredible. Besides, Spectres are trouble. I don't like having them on board. Call me paranoid.
You're paranoid. The Council helped fund this project. They have a right to send someone to keep an eye on their investment.
Yeah, that is the official story. But only an idiot believes the official story.
So real quick, just to not break up the whole flow of the story here, and I might make a few comments here and there about what people say, but this is a game where you kind of pick and choose your responses to everything in the game. Because, that's how it is. Now, just real quick kind of clarification, most of this, at least what I've seen pretty much, a lot of the up choices pretty much is like the nicer responses. It kind of basically just says, you're making a nice response, basically. You're trying to talk things out, or, just try and be a nice guy here. Medium, I kind of see are a little bit more like a whole neutral response, but a fair amount of times they can still be kind of like, lean a little bit more towards being a jerk, pretty much. And then the whole bottom one is where you just straight up say, shut up, or do what I say, or the option that usually results in you drawing your gun, pretty much. But, yeah, again, bottom is usually kind of meaner response, ups is usually a nice response, middle is kind of middle of the road, but, again, I feel like some of it kind of leans a little bit more towards the mean route most of the time, so, bit of column A, bit of column B. But this is my playthrough, and I usually play like the nicer Shepard, so, you got people who got a problem with that. Unfortunately, that's kind of like your problem. We're going to be doing a lot with nice Shepard.
They don't send Spectres on shakedown runs.
So there's more going on here than the captain's letting on.
Joker, status report.
Just cleared the mass relay, Captain. Stealth systems engaged. Everything looks solid.
Good. Find a comm buoy and link us into the network. I want mission reports relayed back to Alliance Brass before we reach Eden Prime.
Aye, aye, Captain. Better brace yourself, sir. I think Nihilus is headed your way.
He's already here, Lieutenant. Tell Commander Shepard to meet me in the comm room for a debriefing.
You get that, Commander?
He sounds angry. Something must have gone wrong with the mission.
Captain always sounds like that when he's talking to me.
Can't possibly imagine why.
So yeah, that's basically, we're gonna be doing a lot of that in Mass Effect, kind of picking and choosing our responses to a lot of situations. But that kind of is the whole part of like Mass Effect, and kind of one of the main reasons why there's a lot of love for this series, because there's some dialogue that really a lot of people will remember and love. But anywho, real quick, you can kind of look around with the right stick and move around the left, and you can see X. You can interact with things if you have it highlighted. Like we have good old Kaidan here. We can press X to talk to him.
You probably don't want to keep the captain waiting, Commander.
The captain's waiting for you in the comm room, Commander.
Yeah, just gonna give you kind of heads up. We're gonna be dealing with Joker a lot throughout this series, for those who don't know. And if you don't like Joker at first, you're gonna grow to love him later. And basically, before we kind of keep advancing, I might as well just get a few things clarified in the pause menu right here. If we go to Squad, now as you can see on the side of Shepard's head, we have Renegade and Paragon. They're kind of more or less our reputation to pretty much everyone else. Now, a Paragon is basically where we're known to be a very, like a nice person, pretty much. Like, pretty much like a person that people can look up to and kind of respect, and kind of just basically seem like a bit of a hero kind of thing. Though, in all fairness, even in some way, Renegade can also be looked at as a hero, but you're kind of more of a harder person, basically. You're like more cut the crap and then get on with it, or you kind of also resort to violence a lot more. Paragon, you just prefer to talk things out. Renegade, you kind of use action more, and you kind of are a bit more of a jerk in that aspect. I try my best to keep using some language here because I was trying to. But yes, and pretty much that's like the whole thing here right now is like, you notice with the Renegade it's a little bit higher, and I feel like that has to kind of partially do with the fact that we went Earthborn, basically, and you had a little harder life, so you're kind of a little bit more tougher and a little bit more hardened. So that's kind of that. And also, I believe Soulfire might also put a few ticks in that too. But I think that also may make a contribute to that little tick we got there in Paragon, or that's like the default starting for Paragon. I don't know. I never really. Again, I really don't do a good change of the background story for Shepard, because honestly, I just like those two backstories a lot more. So since we're also here, we might as well cover our whole traits, aka more or less our skills tree. Now we got pistols, which basically increases accuracy and damage for pistols. But later you gain something called the marksman ability. That will be this little tick right here. Now, marksman basically says only available when using a pistol. So you can't use this ability unless you have pistol equipped. It means like you have to manually take out the pistol to use this. It says it boosts its accuracy 60%, increases rate of fire. Let's see, 1 round a second, reduces heat consumption. Yeah, it reduces heat basically every time you fire. See, it only takes like 10 seconds and it recharges 45. But that is basically where things kind of. Sorry about that. Ugh. But anyway, this is where kind of things get a little more interesting. Is where you see the plus things. These actually unlock the second branches below these skill trees. You see here we get the access to shotguns. So this will let us have access to shotgun abilities, but also will give us bonus damage and accuracy. Which, let's face it, shotguns need accuracy. I mean, yeah, they got that spread, but little extra accuracy gun goes to the shotgun, makes things a little bit more deadly. Who doesn't love a deadly shotgun? But as you kind of keep increasing things here, it also improves basically a lot more things with your skills. Like your rate of fire gets up to 1.5, which is pretty good. And then basically, as you see, you get even more heat reduction. So basically, it takes longer for your pistol to overheat. And basically, you're gonna have to give me a second here. I'm gonna have to quick check something. All right, sorry for that quick stop there. I had to take care of something real quick. Anyway, back to what I was saying here. I'm trying to remember. Okay, now I remember. And like I said, basically, as you kind of advance further, these skills do get more, more efficient, more better, more better. Yeah, that's a real good word in there. They basically get improved to where they become less, more useful, and basically the gameplay of everything. But as you can see, they even have longer duration. So again, marksman can take, last longer. You get no major improvement in accuracy, but you can shoot faster, and it's 50% is actually pretty much almost like really good. But then there's also something special about the shotgun. The shotgun's ability is a little different. It's called Carnage. Now, Carnage is basically a little more interesting. And again, you can only use this when you have shotgun equipped. But fires a blast of particles, inflicting weapon damage 50% to any enemies within a 2 meter of the impact point. In short, it's basically like taking it's like basically having like a grenade launcher, pretty much. Except this grenade launcher goes in a straight line. You don't have to arc it. At least in most games, pretty much, you have to do that. But basically, this thing only has a recharge time and it has an accuracy cost. So, if I think right, if I'm guessing right, that once you use this, your shotgun will probably have a little bit of reduced accuracy. I don't really know. I don't really use abilities a whole lot in this game, but they're good to have, and Carnage is definitely one of those abilities that are really good. Then we have like Assault Training, which increases your melee damage and weapon damage. Now 1% weapon damage doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it basically adds up as you keep going. So from 9, which clearly then it goes to like 10% probably when you get to the last thing here. It's basically pretty much worth it. But I do like the fact it's 64. Good console right there. Good console. But anyway, like the Vanguard said, they're meant for up close and personal classes, so melee is definitely kind of your whole spiel here. Though, kind of wouldn't recommend trying melee things out in this game. Sometimes things just have a better melee than you. But the ability on the assault train is really good. It's called Adrenaline Burst. Resets the cooldown time of all your talents so they can be used immediately. That's basically just saying, again, if you like using your abilities, this is basically what you want, so you can actually use them a lot more. But again, the cooldown on this one is a lot longer to wait for it than the everything else. Pretty cooldown. The cooldown here is only 45 seconds for both these, but then you gotta wait 120. So you're gonna be a bit of a wait, especially when you're in the middle of a firefight. But if you keep building this up, then you can access the tactical armor, which basically will allow you to actually, if I remember correctly, tactical armor, unlock the ability to use medium armor. So definitely worth your time getting that, because better armor is still better armor. Light armor does have its uses, but I prefer having a little better armor once you get it. So this is definitely a tree you want to fill out as fast as possible so you can actually access medium armor. And tactical armor gives you the ability to have shield boost, basically making it so restores 30% of your shield per second. That's really good ability to have basically again when you're in the middle of a firefight. And here's basically you have to get this little tick here to get to your medium armor. So even after you basically unlock the skill tree, you gotta work to get the medium armor. Again, worth it for better armor. Then you have abilities like Throw, which is project a mass effect field powerful enough to hurl objects and enemies caught in the area of effect out of the way. Each one increases the strength of Throw, knocking targets further and inflicting greater damage. In short, when you kind of think about it, it's almost like the Force Push when you kind of think about it. And yes, I know I use a Star Wars thing, but I'm more of a Star Wars guy than a Star Trek guy. Might as well get that out of the way. Then of course, then you get Lift, and again, more increases so to your power. So yeah, 1,050, newtons, and it keeps getting higher. And once you get to Master Throw, it kind of shows how much power you got there. And even your radius gets bigger too, from 2 to 6 meters. I mean, that's pretty good radius there. Anyway, but anyways, after that you unlock that, you get Lift, which is, project the sphere of powerful contra gravity. Any objects or creature caught in the area of effect will be lifted in the air. Enemies will be temporarily immobilized until they fall back to the ground. Another really good ability. It's a good ability to get like enemies out from behind cover. So if you like doing that, here you go. You got a 4-meter radius of basically where you hit your target. So good to have basically, and like increase it. You get more duration. And if you really like keeping enemies out from behind cover, you really want this. Then we get basically the warp. The powerful Mass Effect field that wreaks havoc on a subatomic level, weakening armor and inflicting damage over time on enemies causing in the area of effect. You got warp here, and then basically increases the duration. So pretty good to have basically again if you want to really whittle down the enemy. So warp's a pretty much good damage over time kind of thing. Then you have barrier. Barrier is good to have. Let's see. Barrier. Bolster your kinetic shields with a Mass Effect field that can absorb massive amounts of damage. Attacks that penetrate shields will also penetrate this barrier. So be careful of that. Barrier basically makes it's like a second layer on your shields. So another really good ability to have. Basically, once you kind of set this up, basically, you get more duration, and basically, getting your shields basically are even better, are a lot stronger as you keep going. Even when you get the mass barrier, 1,000 points of damage. That's still pretty good, when you look at it. It actually costs 80, and the recharge time is 40, and that's not bad. Duration is 23. Again, all pretty good to have in the middle of a firefight. Now we get to this Vanguard one. This is basically obviously a class-specific skill, or talent, as they say. But yeah, I'm probably gonna still say skill because kind of use the skill trees and all that. But Vanguards are trained for close range combat and can use their own abilities to counter enemy bionic attacks. Increases bionic resistance. Increases damage with shotgun and pistols. And basically, kind of literally no surprise here. You can keep increasing here the more damage your shotgun does, and also you can take less damage from bionic abilities. And those bionic abilities can do a bit of doozy of damage, pretty much. Now we get to the more interesting skills in Mass Effect, the Charm one. Charm opens a charm. Yeah, sorry about that. The Charm opens charm options in conversations, decreases the cost of items in store. Let's see. Charm options in conversation will be grayed out if you do not have high enough skill rank. New skill ranks will unlock when you become a Spectre. Well, there's a spoiler right there, game. As you earn enough Paragon points. Again, sorry about that. So yeah, basically if you want to access more and more of the charm, you have to do a lot more Paragon things. So again, be a nice shepherd and you get access to more charm abilities. And like I said, it reduces cost by and score. Again, sorry about that. But yeah, reduce the cost of items in the store. That's pretty good to have basically if you want like a little bit of a discount. But then we get the Intimidate. In short, basically kind of the same thing, but increases credits gained when selling items in store. That's pretty good to have basically when you actually look at the game there. It's like, you want basically to sell and get more money, basically, there you go. But I'm not gonna kind of give you a little heads up in about this game. You really don't honestly need to use the stores a whole lot. Because at most, they will only give you, upgrades for, weapons, or give you weapons, and... Other than that, well, also armor, too. I can't forget about armor upgrades, but... Honestly, you find better stuff out there in the field than pretty much anything in the store. There is one store in particular where you can get the best weapons in the game, and that's pretty much worth, spending money, but you need a lot of money. So a little bit word of advice, try to use the stores as little as possible in this game. and also at the same time, you know, try and sell what you can, and if not, well, I'll get to the what you can do with stuff later real quick. Actually, I'll probably do it right now, actually. But first off, I'll spend some points here in the skill tree. Like I said, I'm going to basically put some things in Vanguard and Charm right now, so at least have access to some things here already. I know I said it's important to get the assault training in so you can get the armor ability to use tactical armor, but like I said, you know, everyone has their own way of doing things, and trust me when I say it is definitely important to get that tactical arm as quick as possible, but right now I'm just going to put some effort into Charm and Vanguard because you're going to kind of need that for, well, you need Charm or Intimidate for something later in the first part of the game, so best to have that taken care of and ready to go. The other thing basically worth noting is basically the equipment, which, as you can see, we can have access to basically all the different types of weapons here, from assault rifles, shotguns, pistols, and sniper rifles. You have access to all the weapon types in the game, which is pretty interesting, kind of nice, but like, again, you're really only going to be really good with shotguns and pistols when you have the Vanguard class, or basically like Engineer and Adapt, you're going to be good with pistols, yeah, you get the idea. But then basically we have access to things called grenades. Grenades are kind of interesting in this game, and I'll get to that when we actually can start using them. But again, like I said, I don't really use grenades a whole lot, but that doesn't mean they aren't useful. For actually one part of the story, you actually will need to use grenades, so a little word of advice, the only other time, I forgot to mention this, but the only other thing that stores are useful is they can upgrade your capacity on grenades and, well, health kits, or what they're known in this game as Metagel. Those are like the only other things you really want to spend your money on, and these can get expensive. So that's why it's always good to increase your charm, so you have access, you get more discount. Now we get into biotic amps. That's a little something different. Biotic amps basically increases your biotic abilities, so it's good to have access to those. And, you know, make sure you get better ones as you play through the game. Now, a little fun fact is, if you have access to tech abilities, you have access to Omnitools. And basically, just want to give you a heads up, the Omnitools don't really change when you get new ones. It's just the same old Omnitool you saw pretty much when you were looking at the classes. So if you're hoping for something kind of crazy where you get like a claw arm or something, you won't be getting that. Though that would be pretty cool. Kind of thinking about, you know, it'd be pretty funny if they did that in Legendary Edition. You get different Omnitools, and next thing you know, you have like crazy looking Omnitools when your character pulls it up. Now that would be funny. Anyway, then we got access to armor, which, like I said, better armor has its uses, but the little thing is though, light armor also still has its uses. It's not completely useless. It does have its benefits, so make sure you remember that when you're playing through the game, that there are benefits to having access to light armor. But again, less protection, so you are going to have to be sacrificing one for the other. Anyway, basically, these last two are going to be real quick, and again, I apologize this is taking so long, but I figure I might as well get a lot of stuff out of the way at the first episode, just so I can say I did this and I got this out of the way. Codex. Codex is basically the major part that contains a lot of the lore and backstories on a fair amount of things basically in the game. Like if you want to know something about planets, the local fauna, or even about different creatures, you know, different species of alien you will come across in Mass Effect, that's actually where you're going to get your information. Even things like the Alliance, and like the humanity, and the Systems Alliance, aka the military force we are a part of, which is the Alliance. Blech. Again, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to annoy a lot of people from this little bit of jargon here and a lot of talking, but it's good to get this out of the way. Like I said, you click here, you get information, and it just basically be good to have. Maybe I'll get to talking about this, maybe I'll just spend an entire video reading all this, and then people can be super annoyed. But anyway, you also have, like I said, this was the secondary, so it's not that important. The primary ones are a little more interesting because this one actually has a narrator who can actually read this for you. So yeah, they basically, like I said, primary is like the main stuff that you need to look into and main focus on a lot of story, but the secondary will have a lot of information that is worth looking into and learning a little more about Mass Effect. Now we have the journal. This is where you can look at your main missions. Like I said, we're on the prologue, and we're on the Normandy. That is the name of our ship, by the way. Good ship. Love Normandy. But like I said... sorry, again. Don't know what's going on with me today. Anyway, you can speak to the captain, and that's basically where you're going to be going, is, talk to Captain Anderson in the comms room. That's our main objective for the main story. Now, real quick, assignments are your side stories, like side objectives, bring your side quests, side stories, basically just things that are just on the side, but they actually will play a major part in the actual story of Mass Effect in the later parts, because this game is all about consequences and basically how things affect one thing or another. So basically, like, one thing in this game will affect something else in the other game. So it's very good much worth your time to actually think about your actions in this game. And again, I'm going to clarify, a lot of people are not going to be surprised, but I'm going to be playing Nice Guy Shepard throughout most of this game, so yeah, expecting to make a lot of Nice Guy choices. A lot of people are going to be a little bored and annoyed with that, but my playthrough, my rules.
I'm telling you, I just saw him. He marched by like he was on a mission.
He's a Spectre. They're always on a mission.
And we're getting dragged, right along with him.
Relax, Presley. You're going to give yourself an ulcer.
Now, here's a little heads up. This is actually a conversation that, unlike the ones with Joker and Kaidan, we can actually engage in a conversation with a girl buddy, Navigator Presley. So, what do you have to say? Because that conversation you were having with Engineer Adams, it seems a little heated there.
Congratulations, Commander. Looks like we had a smooth run. You heading down to see the captain?
Yeah, but I heard you having an argument with Adams, so you want to explain that?
Sounds like you don't trust our Turian guest.
Sorry, Commander, just having a chat with Adams down at engineering. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. But you have to admit, something's odd about this mission. The whole crew feels it.
Well, I mean, yeah, again, we have a Spectre and we're on an experimental ship, so yeah, a lot of things will be suspicious, but what is your thoughts on it?
You think the Alliance brass is holding out on us?
If all we're supposed to do is test out the stealth system, why is Captain Anderson in charge? And then there's Nihilus. Spectres are elite operatives, top covert agents. Why send a Spectre, a Turian Spectre, on a shakedown run? It doesn't add up.
Okay, and I really didn't like the fact you had to emphasize Turian there, pal. So I'm gonna hit you what you mean by this.
You don't trust Nihilus.
I don't like Turians in general. It runs in my family. My grandfather fought in the First Contact War. Lost a lot of friends when the Turians hit us.
Well, I mean, that's fair. Some people won't let go of grudges when it comes to, certain people's race or ethnicity. Some people won't let that go, but I can say sometimes it's in the past. Really, if it's a long time ago, it's in the past, and then honestly, I mean, like, if you don't let go of that hate, it's just gonna turn into very bad prejudice later on, and it's not gonna be pretty. You just really gotta learn to let some of that shit go, and in all fairness, I mean, like I was saying with Presley here, you can have a nice, friendly conversation with a Turian, and, basically will show that they're not bad people, but if he holds on to that hatred, he's just gonna automatically hate a Turian when he's having a conversation with them. And then next thing you know, he'll make a side comment, and next thing you know, fists might start flying. So really, sometimes you just gotta learn to let prejudices kind of go. So yeah, Presley, that stuff was a long time ago. You gotta let that go.
That was 30 years ago. You can't blame Nihilus for that.
No, I guess not. But it still makes me nervous to have a Spectre on board, especially a Turian. We're an Alliance vessel, human military, but Nihilus doesn't answer to the captain like the rest of us. Spectres operate outside the normal chain of command. And they don't come along just to observe shakedown runs. Nihilus looks like he's expecting some heavy action. I don't like it.
And that is something to be worried about. But what can you say about the captain?
Do you have a problem with the captain?
No, sir. But I can't figure out what he's doing here. Captain Anderson is one of the most decorated Special Forces officers in the service. If he melted down all his medals, he could make a life-size statue of himself. You don't send a soldier like that on a do-nothing mission. He's treating this shakedown run too seriously. Something big is going on.
As though you know it, and again, you do hear about a fair amount of these people like high up or like, you know, special forces that have done a lot of stuff like this. And I mean, like, again, for example, someone says they can melt down all their metals to make a life-size statue. That's one very impressive service record. I mean, in one way you can look at, can't really blame a guy like that doing a do-nothing assignment. You know, a little bit easier, but if he's taking it as serious as it is, yeah, we might want to be careful about this. Careful what's going on and moving further ahead with this mission. But, keeps talking about this stealth system, so what can you tell us about that there, Presley?
What do you know about the stealth systems?
I just know it masks our location from scans and sensors. Cutting-edge technology. The Normandy's the only ship with this prototype drive. But why are we fully staffed? A skeleton crew would be cheaper, less chance of security leaks, too. Plus, there's Nihilus. It's pretty obvious this shakedown run is just a cover.
Well, I mean, pretty big thing to assume that's a cover, and again, we keep going back to the whole thing with Nihilus, but we're pretty sure it's again with the whole thing with the Spectre, so I'll let that go, Presley. But, yeah, the thing about being a cover, though, is kind of suspicious, and seems pretty valid to be concerned and actually bring that to conclusion. And again, when you kind of think about it, there's a lot of things that does get covered up in the military. Or even anything in the government, really. But, yeah, a cover, that doesn't sound good.
For what?
Damned if I know, Commander. We're out here on false pretenses. I'm not a fan of being left in the dark. Damned if I know, Commander. We're out here on false pretenses. I'm not a fan of being...
Okay, Presley, I didn't know you became a ventriloquist there for a minute there. But, work on your ventriloquism act. You might become a good comedian. Or, I don't know, maybe people will hate you if you got a creepy puppet. But, if it makes you feel better, I'll look into it.
I'll see if I can get some answers when I see him.
Good luck, Commander.
I grew up on Eden Prime, Doc. It's not the kind of place Spectres visit. There's something Nihilus isn't telling us about this mission.
That's crazy. The captain's in charge here. He wouldn't take orders from a Spectre.
Not his choice, Doc. Spectres don't answer to anyone. They can do whatever they want. Kill anyone who gets in their way.
Oh, you watch too many spy vids, Jenkins.
Well, anyway, as I was about to say before, good old Jenkins here interrupted me. We did get a quick entry into the Codex, so basically we have more information and more information on things. Which does pay to actually do side events and side stories, because at least this way you can actually get more information on things than just the bare bones. And even doing so even unlocks things, I think, even in the main, Codex. So it's definitely worth your time to actually do this if you're basically, again, people who really love the lore of various things in the game. But we'll be holding off on looking at Codex things until later, because again, this video is going to probably be lengthy, and first video we'll probably want to at least get to some of the action. So let's talk to Dr. Chakwa and Corporal Jenkins. Jenkins, there better not be an initial with a letter L in front of that name, Jenkins, because other than that, you're probably not going to make it.
What do you think, Commander? We won't be staying on Eden Prime too long, will we? I'm itching for some real action.
I sincerely hope you're kidding, Corporal. Your real action usually ends with me patching up crew members in the infirmary.
Yeah, I want to call your jest there, Jenkins, if the doc says you keep getting patched in the infirmary. I mean, at least you can walk away from a lot of situations, but seriously, don't try and get shot too many times, Jenkins. Again, if there better not be an L initial in there.
You need to calm down, Corporal. A good soldier stays cool, even under fire.
Sorry, Commander, but this waiting's killing me. I've never been on a mission like this before, not one with a Spectre on board.
Well, I mean, I think you're getting antsy about it, but, just don't overdo it and you'll be fine.
Just treat this like every other assignment you've had and everything will work out.
Easy for you to say. You proved yourself on Akuz. Everybody knows what you can do. This is my big chance. I need to show the brass what I can do.
Yeah, Jenkins, first off, don't bring up old war stories with vets. Especially when it involves something touchy like that. Like something like they survived.
You're young, Corporal. You have a long career ahead of you. Don't do something stupid to mess it up.
Don't worry, sir. I'm not going to screw this up.
now talking about. Let's see what they have a fresh perspective on our good old mysterious friend Nihilus.
What can you tell me about Nihilus?
Turians are generally well respected by the other species. Their fleet has more patrols protecting Citadel space than any other. They don't always get on well with us, though. Some people find them too rigid. Others still blame them for the First Contact War. As for Nihilus, I haven't said more than 2 words to him. He usually only speaks to the captain.
I hope we get a chance to see him in action. I heard Nihilus took down an entire enemy platoon all by himself.
Okay, seriously, Jenkins, you really gotta tune into John a bit. And I have to admit, you sound like you watch way too many spy vids. But what can you guys tell me about Spectres?
What do you know about the Spectres?
Only what I've heard. Spectre agents work directly for the Citadel Council. They usually work alone or in small groups. Spectres don't have any official power, though. Basically, they're a shadow organization with a mandate to preserve and protect galactic stability.
Protect it at any cost. Don't forget that part. Spectres operate above the law.
Yeah, that sounds like the Black Ops, like above and beyond Black Ops.
Why don't we have any of our own people in there?
Spectres usually come from the Council races, like the Turians. We've been trying to get a human accepted into their ranks for years now. So far, it hasn't happened.
Hey, Commander, you'd make a good Spectre. You're always getting dropped into impossible situations, forced to survive unbeatable odds, just like you on Akuze.
Yeah, again, Jenkins, don't bring up old war stories with veterans.
I try not to think about Akuze.
Sorry, Commander. I didn't mean to offend you. I respect what you did there. We all do.
Let's not dwell on the past, Commander. Was there something else you needed?
Yeah, you may sound that the Spectres do sound a little dangerous.
How do you control agents with unlimited power?
I suppose the Council could revoke the Spectre status of an agent who got out of hand. At that point, Citadel Security Services would take over.
Those C-Sec grunts wouldn't stand a chance. The Spectres were 20 ordinary soldiers. The Spectres police themselves. An agent goes rogue, they send another agent to take him down. That's Spectre justice.
The Corporal's confusing romantic legends with reality, Commander.
As a lot of the young soldiers do. I want to clarify, I've never been to service myself, but I mean, like, you hear a lot about stuff about the military when you actually... Well, for one, has a friend that basically also has like a great knowledge on military. I mean, I got a very good friend that knows a great deal, military knowledge. Partially the fact that, his family was also in the military, both parents, but a guy who's like dedicated to, knowing about the military, even though he couldn't get in due to complications when he was born and all that. But we're not going to dwell on that part of the information. That's like, the guy's a very good friend of mine, and he's a very big military guy. That's really all I gotta say about him. And a very dear friend. The guy's like a brother to me. But back to this. What can you tell us about Eden Prime? 'Cause I heard you talking about Eden Prime there, Jenkins.
You're from Eden Prime, aren't you, Jenkins? What's it like?
It's very peaceful, Commander. They've been real careful with development, so you don't have any city noise or pollution. My parents lived on the outskirts of the colony. At night, I used to climb this big hill and stare across the fields back at the lights from the main settlement. It was gorgeous. But when I got older, I realized it was a little too calm and quiet for me. That's why I joined the Alliance. Even Paradise gets boring after a while.
I mean, fair. I mean, like, not everyone can live in a quiet, peaceful town for long. Sometimes you just gotta get out of there. Yeah, and some people join the military. Some people just go to the big city. But sounds like a little bit of out of nowhere place for testing a flight system. So that seems a little weird.
Any idea why Eden Prime was chosen as our destination?
Not really sure, Commander. Eden Prime's one of our most stable colonies. Good place to take the Normandy for a shakedown run, I guess. No real danger there. There's gotta be something else going on. We've got a Spectre on board. That's why I'm so wound up. I can't wait for the real mission to start.
Again, cool your jets there, Jenkins, and you'll be fine. But thanks for all your information there, Doc, and also Jenkins. So I better get going.
The captain's waiting for me.
Goodbye, Commander.
And like basically just kind of saying we got Paragon points. Which, clarification, if you for real quick, is you can see, Paragon really hasn't grown that much, but it will take some leaps and bounds later in the story. Real quick, basically, the reason why we got Paragon response is basically back when Jenkins mentioned Akuz, and we chose, his bad memory and all that. That's like, kind of like, trying to like respond to it in a calm situation. While the other one basically been like telling Jenkins, shut up, don't you dare bring that up, or take it so lightly, because, people died in that. So basically kind of saying, your responses do actually kind of show, if you're a Paragon or a Renegade. So let's go see the captain, and he's not here. But Nihilus is here. Oh, this is suspicious in every aspect of the way.
Commander Shepard, I was hoping you'd get here first. It will give us a chance to talk.
I was told Captain Anderson would be here, but what do you want to talk about?
What about?
I'm interested in this world we're going to, Eden Prime. I've heard it's quite beautiful.
According to Jenkins, it's beautiful.
They say it's a paradise.
Yes, a paradise. Serene, tranquil, safe. Eden Prime has become something of a symbol for your people, hasn't it? Proof that humanity can not only establish colonies across the galaxy, but also protect them. But how safe is it really?
I'm not gonna lie, that does sound like a threat, but it doesn't seem like you're trying to make it sound like a threat. It sounds like you're asking a more different question.
Do you know something?
Your people are still newcomers, Shepard. The galaxy can be a very dangerous place. Is the Alliance truly ready for this?
I think it's about time we told the commander what's really going on.
This mission is far more than a simple shakedown run.
Yeah, it seems kind of obvious when you actually look at the, look between the lines.
I figured there was something you weren't telling us.
We're making a covert pickup on Eden Prime. That's why we needed the stealth systems operational.
Okay, why didn't you tell me this, since I'm pretty sure that Commander Shepard here, who we're playing as, is second in command, so why not tell me?
There must be a reason you didn't tell me about this, sir.
This comes down from the top, Commander. Information strictly on a need-to-know basis. A research team on Eden Prime unearthed some kind of beacon during an excavation. It was Prothean.
Prothean. Clarification, Prothean is basically the race of species that remains to be found on Mars, so a little interesting when you're hearing about the Protheans.
I thought the Protheans vanished 50,000 years ago.
Their legacy still remains. The mass relays, the Citadel, our ship drives. It's all based on Prothean technology.
This is big, Shepard. The last time humanity made a discovery like this, it jumped our technology forward 200 years. But Eden Prime doesn't have the facilities to handle something like this. We need to bring the beacon back to the Citadel for proper study.
Obviously, this goes beyond mere human interests, Commander. This discovery could affect every species in Council space.
Okay, and why did we tell the Council? It could have benefited us pretty good.
Why didn't we keep the beacon for ourselves?
You humans don't have the best reputation. Some species see you as selfish, too unpredictable, too independent, even dangerous.
Sharing that beacon will improve relations with the Council. Plus, we need their scientific expertise. They know more about the Protheans than we do.
The beacon's not the only reason I'm here, Shepard.
Nihilus wants to see you in action, Commander. He's here to evaluate you.
Well, it's not surprising when the fact that we literally start off and I have literally decked out in every gun I can use, so not surprising that he probably has an interest in me, since again, starting the game with in our full armor and guns. But, Spectres are always mysterious, so for all we know, maybe he was just willing to, maybe he would just pretty much just check out the ship. But yeah, I'm not surprised he was keeping an eye on Shepard.
Guess that explains why I bump into him every time I turn around.
The Alliance has been pushing for this for a long time. Humanity wants a larger role in shaping interstellar policy. We want more say with the Citadel Council. The Spectres represent the Council's power and authority. If they accept a human into their ranks, it shows how far the Alliance has come.
Not many could have survived what you went through on Akuz. You showed a remarkable will to live, a particularly useful talent. That's why I put your name forward as a candidate for the Spectres.
just kind of going to say this real quick. Want to clarify that if you haven't pretty noticed that, again, with the whole service record, they pretty much emphasize a lot of that about your character's story. So they will bring that up a lot, basically, at least in this early part here, because it is kind of a very important part of your backstory. Is like, you know, what you went through in the military or what you did. Just like kind of clarifying that. But the fact that, you know, a Turian suggested a human basically is a little interesting.
Why would a Turian want a human in the Spectres?
Not all Turians resent humanity. Some of us see the potential of your species. We see what you have to offer to the rest of the galaxy, and to the Spectres. We are an elite group. It's rare to find an individual with the skills we seek. I don't care that you're human, Shepard. I only care that you can do the job.
And what do you have to say about this, Captain?
I assume this is good for the Alliance.
Earth needs this, Shepard. We're counting on you.
I need to see your skills for myself, Commander. Eden Prime will be the first of several missions together.
You'll be in charge of the ground team. Secure the beacon and get it onto the ship ASAP. Nihilus will accompany you to observe the mission.
Okay, that's good to know, but what can they say about the Protheans?
What do you know about the Protheans?
Just what they taught us in school. They were a technologically advanced species that ruled the galaxy 50,000 years ago. Then they vanished. Nobody really knows how or why, though I've heard plenty of theories. But everyone agrees galactic civilization wouldn't exist without them.
Their citadel is the very heart of galactic society, and without their mass relays, interstellar travel would be impossible. We all owe the Protheans a great debt.
Cool, and I'm guessing that a Prothean beacon must be pretty darn important.
Why is this beacon so important?
All advanced galactic civilization is based on Prothean technology, even yours.
If we hadn't discovered those Prothean ruins buried on Mars, we'd still be stuck on Earth. That was just a small data cache. Who knows what we can learn from this beacon? What if it's a weapons archive? We can't let it fall into the wrong hands.
And by wrong hands, you mean...
Like who?
The Attican Traverse isn't the most stable sector of Citadel space. There are plenty of raiders and criminal groups active in the region. They might figure a Prothean beacon is worth the risk of attacking an Alliance ship. Plus, Eden Prime is right on the border of the Terminus systems.
Yeah, and Terminus systems are, and you could clarify what those are, please?
The Attican Traverse is under Citadel protection. If the Terminus systems attack, it's an act of war.
Technically, yes. But some of the species in the Terminus might be willing to start a war over this.
The last thing the Council wants is to get dragged into a major conflict with the Terminus systems. We have to keep this low-key.
Okay, I didn't know much about the Terminus system, but it says that, you know, they're a little bit separate from Citadel space, so good to know at least on that. But one more thing about Eden Prime before we probably get there.
I'd like to know more about Eden Prime before we touch down.
It's a peaceful farming world, but it represents something much bigger. Eden Prime is one of our oldest and most successful colonies. It proved we were ready to face the challenges of settling new worlds, to forge a place for humanity beyond Earth. It symbolizes humanity's growth and evolution as a spacefaring species, and after this, it will be known as the world where humans made a discovery of galactic importance.
Well, that sounds pretty big, and should we even waste any more time? We should probably get ready to go.
Just give the word, Captain.
We should be getting close to Eden.
Captain, we got a problem.
What's wrong, Joker?
Transmission from Eden Prime, sir. You better see this.
Bring it up on screen.
Get down! We are under attack, taking heavy casualties. I repeat, heavy casualties. We can't get evac. They came out of nowhere. We need...
Everything cuts out after that. No comm traffic at all. Just goes dead. There's nothing.
Reverse and hold at 38.5. Status report.
17 minutes out, Captain. No other Alliance ships in the area.
Take us in, Joker, fast and quiet. This mission just got a lot more complicated.
A small strike team can move quickly, without drawing attention. It's our best chance to secure the beacon.
Grab your gear and meet us in the cargo hold. Tell Alenko and Jenkins to suit up, Commander. You're going in.
Engaging stealth systems. Somebody was doing some serious digging here, Captain.
Your team's the muscle in this operation, Commander. Go in heavy and head straight for the dig site.
What about survivors, Captain?
Helping survivors is a secondary objective. The beacon's your top priority.
Approaching drop point 1.
Nihilus, you're coming with us?
I move faster on my own.
Nihilus will scout out ahead. He'll feed you status reports throughout the mission. Otherwise, I want radio silence.
We've got his back, Captain.
The mission's yours now, Shepard. Good luck!
We are approaching drop point 2.
We're going to be seeing a lot of this soul-saving process as we play.
Ship perimeter secured, Commander.
This place got hit hard, Commander. Hostiles everywhere. Keep your guard up.
I guess you think you would see the Normandy fly off, but it's not. But anyway, this is basically how a lot of this is going to look when we play the game. Just real quick, just want to do one little thing, and that is toggle the helmet off. Okay, Jenkins, apparently you like keeping your helmet on. Fine. That's just me, I just don't like wearing a helmet. You will wear the helmet by default when you're like in situations that need a helmet, because those helmets are kind of meant to kind of make sure you can actually, you know, breathe. So, in a situation with unbreathable oxygen, you'll be wearing a helmet. And since we're also kind of here, we might as well get into a little squad thing. And you see, we have Kaidan Alenko. He is a Sentinel. So he's basically kind of like, again, you know, like we established with the with Sentinels, they're basically your biotic and tech kind of guys. Very useful for support and also providing a good amount of biotic powers and tech abilities. We got overthrow, lift, barrier, but let's quickly look at stasis real quick. Creates a powerful mass effect field that immobilizes a single target. That's very handy, but if I remember correctly, stasis also kind of makes it to where you can't do any damage. So it's good to put an enemy out of a fight, but you can't kill them. It's not a bad ability, but it kind of sucks you can't kill an enemy with it. Now we got decryption. This is actually very important. Increases the amount of Omnigel received, lets you use decryption skills to open secure objects. Grants the sabotage ability, which will shut down enemy weapons within a certain radius. Decryption is actually very important because, like I said, if you do not have a squad mate or yourself that has the decryption ability, you can't access certain things, and that's like actually like a locked treasure chest, more or less. Just kind of not exactly a treasure chest, but it's like having a lockpick ability for treasure chests or locked doors. Again, we don't actually have treasure chests, but you get the idea. And basically, the sabotage ability is also really good because, again, at least it'll shut down enemy weapons. Also, again, a very good ability to have, so you can, you know, get an enemy to at least stop shooting at you for a short bit, so you can at least take a breather, or at least, you know, shut down the weapons, then you can focus fire on them and get them out of the way, which would be good for some of the big hitters. Then we have electronics. Increase the strength of your shield, increase the amount of, let's see, hull restored when you repair vehicles. Lets you use electric skills to repair or bypass objects. Grants the overload ability, which shuts down enemy shields. Again, very important ability, and like again, this is what you also will need if you want to access certain things like, you know, crates or other things like that. Basically, you may want to have a squad mate that has access to the encryption and electronics. They're very important to have. And again, with the Overlord ability, damages shields to even shuts them down. Very good to have. Now we got basically the first aid ability. Increases squad healing. Basically, in short, as long as someone with your squad that has first aid, you basically will be able to heal your squad a lot better than just doing just a quick patch up. Medicine improves the recharge time on squad heal, grants the Neuroshock ability. Basically, again, if he's in the squad, it won't take as long for you to use another Metagel if need be. Again, very good to have, and then access to something called Neuroshock. Knocks out organic enemies for 1 second, inflict. Again, I am sorry for that. But actually, yeah, it's toxic damage. Toxic is basically like nobody's surprised anyone is poison. Poison basically kind of something that wills down health. Nice thing about the whole thing about this is, you know, the cooldown of first aid. I mean, that's, you know, reduces the cooldown is good. And then, you know, more neural shock, you know, more longer enemies incapacitated, more poison damage they got. It's pretty good. They got Sentinels. Special training along Sentinels to use tech more efficiently than other classes. Reduce recharge time for tech and biotic abilities. Increases damage and recharge with pistols. So again, also something kind of make sure you kind of put time to spec into. So make sure you kind of, you know, focus a bit on that. Right now, my major suggestion right now is just put some points in the decryption. And let's give him access to first aid. First aid is going to be good. We have Richard L. Jenkins. Yeah, you're going to make it at the end of this whole story. Everyone remember Jenkins. But anyway, Jenkins is a soldier class, so pretty much like I said, he has access to all the abilities of every weapon that gives access to these unique abilities. You know, pistol against marksman, shotgun against carnage, but assault rifles get something a little different. It further increases the accuracy and damage of assault rifles, which is good. Better accuracy on rifles is always good. But it gains access to the overkill ability. Overkill is a little interesting. Of course, only available for shotguns. Fire rate generates 40% less heat. So basically, you can shoot your rifle for a lot longer without having to worry about overheating. And basically, it has 20% less accuracy. And that's not bad, basically, when you look at it. And you know, gets less accuracy loss, basically, you know, less accuracy loss, you know. And we have sniper rifles. Sniper rifles is also another interesting ability. Let's see. Here's accuracy and damage sniper rifles, which kind of is almost a no-brainer when you look at it. But gains the assassination ability. Assassination. Only available with shotgun sniper rifles. Next shot inflicts weapon damage at 50% increase. So quite literally, the next shot you take with these guns is going to do some major damage. And as you can see, 225% more damage. You want to do some serious damage with a sniper rifle, there you go. But now we also get something called combat armor. Able to equip medium armor, increases damage protection, grants the shield boost ability, and unlocks heavy armor. It's pretty much basically like the whole tactical armor for, you know, but for soldiers. So again, the soldiers are the only ones that can equip heavy armor. And you can well, first he's on launch first aid, so that's good for him. But then there you go, you get access to heavy armor. You don't need to go to a second skill tree or anything like that, or another talent branch, or whatever you want to call these. You just immediately will get it if you just basically put enough into the combat armor. That's it. And we got to do assault training, but then we get fitness. Increases health and grants the immunity ability. Which immunity is really not surprising. Look at it. Increased damage protection by 50%, so It's good to make you nice and tanky. There's an 8% enemy. That's... You want to be a tank, there you go. Get immunity. Real amazing abilities. And again, since... Also clarifying, since you get the adrenaline boost with this, you can do a lot of damage as a soldier. And since we have soldier, we might as well look at this. Frontline warriors are trained to withstand the physical punishment that comes with combat. Increases health. Let's see. Allows limited health regeneration. Health regeneration. Now that's again very handy. So let's see. Jenkins, let's put some in your combat armor, and let's give you a little bit of health regen. Let's face it, a durable soldier is a good soldier. Now clarifying with the journals, they will be always flashed because, you know, you got a new mission, a new objective. Now, his clarification, since you are out on missions, you can have a quick conversation or basically a quick little comment from your squad mates, so you get a little nice little side comment.
Oh God, what happened here?
Well, it sure isn't Mardi Gras, Jenkins.
Smells like smoke and death.
Well, aren't you cheerful? Anyway, left stick is kind of, you know, again, move around. X is to kind of give you a little bit of a sprint so you can actually move around a little faster.
What the hell are those?
Gas bags. Don't worry, they're harmless.
And might as well kind of get this down, but we have, if you press R2, you will draw your weapon. And L1 will open up your weapons kind of listing. Like, everyone can use weapons and like all that, but again, you know, when it comes to certain classes, you just want to use the certain weapons you're good with. Now, R1 is actually a little different. This is basically your skills, like your power wheel. Every single ability you have can be accessed from here. You can even, like, you know, look into information here about learning about what these abilities can do in case you forget. So if you want a reminder, you got yourself a reminder. The mapping ability is where you kind of will just, you know, I think you have to like map it to a certain button, but I really don't use these again, so I don't even bother doing that. Let's see. L2 is the aim, and R2 is the target. Right there on both. Everyone's like aim here. And there you go. You got a little your over your heat meter here. So keep an eye on that when you're playing, and some weapons will just, you know, pistol does like a little bit of that, but if you go to shotguns here real quick, you know, shotgun, yeah, that just jumps like crazy. So probably get about 4 shots. Let's see, and their weapon upgrade, basically improved sighting. In short, basically weapon upgrades will allow you to basically make improvements to your weapons. Like, so if we go here and then we go to shotgun, you just gotta press square to access upgrades and improve sight. Get better accuracy with the shotgun. I mean, like, what's it more to say? Now you can also see if you press triangle, it says you can get Omnigel from doing this. Basically, this is like scrapping weapons or upgrades, or armor, or all that. You can scrap this stuff, and then you'll be able to get Omnigel. We'll get into what Omnigel is in a bit, but right now we'll just focus on making our shotgun more accurate. Now, if you heard things, triangle is basically your Metagel, which basically kind of lets you heal your squad mates. Now select, and I really don't know why they had to make it this button, but select.
Here it comes.
It's a grenade. Now you can see your grenade is like a frisbee. And that was not a detonating on a timer. That is a remote explosive. So I can do this, and it just explodes in midair. Real good for basically hitting enemies behind cover if you can get the timing down on that. Now let's see if I remember. Yeah, you hit circle to holster your weapon. That's good to have. You also can hit down aim to put down your weapon sight. Right now I'm just gonna hit pistol out right now. A little bit more accurate. Oh, and no big surprise with this, since they're called gas bags.
Enemy contact!
They explode. No big surprise there.
All clear.
Oh God, What happened here?
Again, Jenkins, it wasn't Mardi Gras. Why do you keep asking that question? Well, these people had a good time. Real good time. Let's move forward and hope nothing bad happens. I'm sure he's fine. Yeah, you're not gonna expect the most accurate with from range.
All shields.
So you don't see aiming down. You can real quick. You can blind fire when you're not aiming, basically, like I was doing. We'll just base your strategy as blind fire.
Commander.
Okay, yeah, that's not good. We're not gonna die this early. There we go. And good time to use healing.
Negative contacts, Commander.
Well, let's go check on Jenkins.
Ripped right through his shields. Never had a chance.
Well, I mean, he wasn't aiming for running through, but we'll be nice and say he deserves a burial.
We'll see that he receives a proper service once the mission is complete. But I need you to stay focused.
Aye, aye, sir.
Yeah, last thing we need is a Leroy Alenko. Yeah, we're gonna go to shotgun now. Move up ahead and, like I said, always good to stick behind cover. You never know when an enemy's gonna start shooting. I mean, things can go real bad.
Enemy sighted.
Yo, again, for shotgun, put me better for close range. It actually doesn't do well. It doesn't do bad at distance. I guess that's when we improve the accuracy on a gun.
Got some burned out buildings here, Shepard. A lot of bodies. I'm gonna check it out. I'll try to catch up with you at the dig site.
That's good to know, Niall. Well, you can see here we got some like crates here we can access, like you can get an upgrade kit. Toxic steel, I forgot what that is. I think that basically grants you immunity to toxic. Oh yeah, I forgot upgrade. Right, we leveled up in a fight, so we'll just improve basically a little bit more in Vanguard and get more charm. So, and actually, you can look now that I think our Paragon has actually gone up a bit to where it's actually a little bit more noticeable. So, again, more kind of responses will actually give you some more to those points. Let's see, let's get up here to good old Kaidan. Again, you really want to make sure he's got a good amount of description right now, at least at the start. And improving that first aid will be very beneficial. Especially since we're playing on hardcore. Alright, so a little fun thing you see, that's the stamina meter for when you sprint. Like I said, hit the X button, you will sprint, so good to know. You guys kind of notice though the targeting reticle, like your crosshairs or whatever you want to call it, they will kind of fire and then they will go big and then gradually kind of shrink. So sometimes it's good to wait for that shot, but if the enemies are aiming for you immediately, you might want to just keep shooting. At least that's just me. Flanking is also recommended, as long as you got some form of cover, at least from between you and the enemy, that's good to have. Click the left stick, also you will crouch. That's going to be good when you have lower cover. So, always remember that. Sometimes it's good to get low and close to the ground so you avoid getting shot. Also, probably not a good idea to run in the middle of enemy fire like an idiot. Jenkins. Range is gonna be good for right now, and if we go over here, medical kit, that's gonna be good because obviously that will replenish our meta gel. We are going to need that, just like that guy needed it, but clearly he didn't use it. And if I remember right, I think there's a few more like crates or supplies that are hanging around here. I can't remember. Been a while since I played this, and again, I'm not trying to, like, you know, screw around as much as possible. I am actually trying to get as much through this game as possible. There's a lot to this game. A lot they put in the first game for, like, little nooks and crannies you can find, and if you don't look at them, you're gonna miss out on some things that either A, can be sold, or B, is the heal thing. But that was definitely morbid. Let's provide some support for this soldier here so we don't get someone killed. Okay, basically, you can see here the enemies deploy the little shield. Good thing to take them out. Good thing with shotguns, they do that real easily.
Thanks for your help, Commander. I didn't think I was gonna make it.
Brother, how is he? Do I got like bars that I don't know about? Because I was saying, how would she know that I'm a commander, basically? Because I really do not see any noticeable bars like you see in normal military. Oh, whatever, let's not ask it. Let's talk to Miss Ashley Williams.
Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams of the 212. You the one in charge here, sir?
Yes, and are you okay?
Are you wounded, Williams?
A few scrapes and burns, nothing serious. The others weren't so lucky. Oh man. We were patrolling the perimeter when the attack hit. We tried to get off a distress call, but they cut off our communications. I've been fighting for my life ever since.
Where's the rest of your squad?
We tried to double back to the beacon, but we walked into an ambush. I don't think any of the others... I think I'm the only one left.
Been there, done that there, Williams, but you really shouldn't blame yourself on that.
This isn't your fault, Williams. You couldn't have done anything to save them.
Yes, sir. We held our position as long as we could, until the Geth overwhelmed us.
The Geth haven't been seen outside the Veil in nearly 200 years. Why are they here now?
They must have come for the beacon. The dig site is close, just over that rise. It might still be there.
Good to know, and honestly, we could use your help there, Williams, because we're kind of down a man, because someone had to rush in ahead like an idiot. Not gonna name any names. Jenkins! But, yeah, please join us.
We could use your help, Williams.
Aye, aye, sir. It's time for payback.
And before we do that, can you tell us anything about the Geth?
What else do you know about the Geth?
Just what I remember from history class back in school. They're synthetics, non-organic life forms with limited AI programming, created by the Quarians a few centuries ago. They were supposed to be a source of cheap labor, but ended up turning on the Quarians and drove them into exile. Well, after that, they just kind of disappeared behind the Perseus Veil. Nobody's really heard much from them since.
Okay, have you seen what can you tell us about the beacon?
Tell me everything you know about the beacon.
They were doing some digging out here to extend the monorail and expand the colony. A few weeks ago, they unearthed some Prothean ruins, and the beacon. Suddenly, every scientific expert in the colony was interested. That's when they brought us in to secure the site. I don't know much about the beacon itself, but I heard one of the researchers say this could be the biggest scientific discovery of the century.
What happened to the researchers at the dig site?
I don't know. They set up camp near the beacon. The 232 was with them. Maybe their unit fared better than mine.
Have you seen a Turian at all?
Have you seen a Turian Spectre around here?
There aren't any Turians on Eden Prime. None that I've ever met. Not sure I'd be able to tell if one was a Spectre anyway.
If you saw this guy, you'd know. Carries enough firepower to wipe out a whole platoon. Luckily, he's on our side.
Sorry. Like I said, no Turians.
Okay, what was going on before the attack?
Describe what happened leading up to the attack.
We were sent out a couple of nights ago from the main colony to secure the area. Seemed like a routine patrol, until the Geth hit us. We never knew they were coming.
Well, I would say that's everything that we need to know, so let's get moving.
Move out.
So real quick, just kind of... Oh, well, thank you for this information that we already know about. Real quick, let's see what's that. Yeah, toxin seal. Yeah, gives resistance to toxins. I'm not gonna worry about that. But, let's see. There we go. Ashley Williams, yeah, this is actually our soldier in this game. Jenkins was just a teaser. He's not going to be, as you can see, we won't be needing Jenkins anytime soon. But since Ashley's here and we leveled up, we can actually access to some more and give her some skills here. And like before, let's give her some abilities, at least make her a little more durable. Durable soldier's good soldier. A durable soldier's a good soldier. Yeah. And let's face it, how can you say no to health regen? Regen's good. Any other thing to say, Williams?
We thought this world was safe until the Geth showed up.
Yeah, you always think something's safe. You always think, oh hey, this is gonna be an easy little assignment. Yeah, I'm just gonna go deliver a package. Next thing you know, it turns out to be a bomb.
The beacon's at the far end of this trench.
Okay, good to know. Anti-personnel rounds and radioactive rounds. And we got a grenade bag, that's good. We'll go check this crate real quick. Okay, we got some armor, good. Armor that I could use. Good Scorpion, as you can see, his light armor has not a lot of, more bear protection, more shields, and bear protection from attacking biotics, so we'll be using that. Say goodbye to N7 and say hello to Lil Camo. And again, this guy had a little easier time. We're gonna probably need our weapons out because we're gonna. Not surprise shield. Okay, that's a little bit weird. I don't really get why they did that, but they saying that, that was for like saying, get behind cover. Again, sorry about that. And if you crouch and get in low cover, you're gonna be able to protect. And there's bullets. Yeah, look at that. L2 to pop over, we got cover, aim, start opening fire. By hitting R2 shoot. And the amount of shotguns, the closer they get, the easier you can take them down. Always good to move up too, basically. So, unless you got hang back, you got a rifle, but I don't have a rifle, I got a shotgun. There we go. Hey, one grenade for you. Again, I don't use grenades a whole lot, but why not? That was good for fun times. Yeah, let's just move up before we level up. Move up before leveling up, that's a fun one. Yeah, definitely worth saying, when you see a bunch of people impaled on spikes, actually. You're really showing you got good mental stability.
This is the dig site. The beacon was right here. It must have been moved.
By who? Our side or the Geth?
Hard to say. Maybe we'll know more after we check out the research camp.
Yeah, well, alright, we should try and find survivors.
You think anyone got out of here alive?
If they were lucky. Maybe hiding up in the camp. It's just on the top of this ridge, up the ramps.
Oh, good old savings. Yeah, we're gonna be doing with that a lot.
Change of plans, Shepard. There's a small spaceport up ahead. I want to check it out. I'll wait for you there.
Thank you, Nihilus. And hey, there we go. We got a lot of weapons, actually. Nice. So, let's first kind of equip these here so he's got some access. The Edge, it's gonna take, now you won't get a lot more, like I said, you get one less bullet, basically, and you have less accuracy, but a little more power. Sometimes you can't say no to a little more power. And we get a red gun. And you got the Hurricane, more power, less shots, and not as accurate, but again. Oh yeah, if you have upgrades, you can either have them transfer to your new gun or not, but yeah, you might want to transfer, especially since this thing has less accuracy than the other one. And for the assault rifle, obviously, since Ashley is basically trained to use an assault rifle, you might as well just give it to her. And since we also got a level up, we might as well put that here. One more for Vanguard, so we got more power. Think of that. Let's get that adrenaline burst, so at least we got a very handy ability in case we need to use ability. Let's face it, 2 more steps to gain that tactical armor. Because I keep saying you want some better armor in this game. And Kaidan, and we got some more decryption, so now he has access to electronics. and the Overload ability, which is good for enemy shields, let's face it. And Ash gets you some more armor, and let's give you some more. Let's make it so you can do some damage to that assault rifle there. Okay, so let's get moving. I'm sure there's nothing else to worry about up ahead. Nope, nothing at all. It's gonna be perfectly fine, friendly, and nothing to worry about. Those spikes are nothing.
Looks like they hit the camp hard.
Yeah, they did.
It's a good place for an ambush. Keep your guard up. Oh God, they're still alive!
What did the Geth do to them?
Long and short of it, zombies. Or in this case, husks. Yeah, you want to be careful about that shockwave attack there. Kind of good reason why you want to do this, shoot husks from a distance. Well, actually, no, generally, you want to shoot zombies from a distance anyway. But that shockwave is good at taking down your shield. Do a lot of damage. So you want to be careful on that. Yeah, I think that's...
Oh.
You said oh, but your text said huh. And that makes perfect sense. Then I get stuck on that. Let's check the unlocked door first, see what we can get. Heavy armor for humans, Guardian. That'll be good for Ash once she can use heavy armor. We got more Omnigel. Again, we'll get into Omnigel in a bit, but...
That door, it's closed. Security lock's engaged.
Now I get to do decryption. Again, we can't do this unless someone in our squad has decryption, or you have it yourself. So again, it's good to have someone with tech abilities on your squad. Just duly noted on that. But let's try and hack the door. And real quick, how much do you people like the game Simon Says? You know, an old game from Hasbro. Well, we're gonna be doing that. There we go. They do pick up the pace, and real quick, if you failed that, the Omnigel is what you need to use next. And basically, if you mess up, you have to use a certain amount of Omnigel to automatically just unlock the door. I think basically later you can just straight up just use Omnigel and just kind of just open it up immediately, and you don't have to worry about hacking it or decrypting it, but if you want to save on Omnigel, good, because if you just use up Omnigel, it's important for other things too, which again, we'll get into later when the time comes. Let's open this door and see what's going on in here.
Humans, thank the Maker.
Hurry, close the door before they come back.
First up, you're safe, and little thing, I'm pretty sure that's actually a nice little nod there, since this game is made by BioWare, and another game they do is called Dragon Age. When she said, thank the Maker, that is a reference to Dragon Age, because in Dragon Age, a lot of people say the Maker as referring to God. So, she basically was saying thank God, but nice little nod there to Dragon Age. But you don't have to worry, you're all safe now.
Don't worry, we'll protect you.
Thank you. I think we'll be okay now. It looks like everyone's gone.
You're Dr. Warren, the one in charge of the excavation. Do you know what happened to the beacon?
It was moved to the spaceport this morning. Manuel and I stayed behind to help pack up the camp. When the attack came, the Marines held them off long enough for us to hide. They gave their lives to save us.
No one is saved. The age of humanity is ended. Soon, only ruin and corpses will remain.
Well, aren't you a cheerful person? You are definitely not invited to any birthday parties that I'm hosting. But, what can you tell us about the attack?
What else can you tell me about the attack?
It all happened so fast. 1 second we were gathering up our equipment. The next we were hiding in the shed while the Geth swarmed over the camp.
Agents of the Destroyers, bringers of darkness, heralds of our extinction.
We could hear the battle outside. Gunfire, screams. I thought it would never end. Then everything went quiet. We just sat there, too afraid to move, until you came along.
Okay, have you seen any Turians in the area?
Did you notice a Turian in the area?
I saw him, the Prophet, leader of the enemy. He was here before the attack.
That's impossible. Nihilus was with us in the Normandy before the attack.
He couldn't have been here.
I'm sorry. Manuel's still a bit unsettled. We haven't seen your Turian. We've been hiding in here since the attack.
So that means we got an Arturian here. That's good to know. You can tell us about the beacon, though.
Can you tell me anything about the beacon?
It's some type of data module from a galaxy-wide communications network. Remarkably well preserved. It could be the greatest scientific discovery of our lifetime. Miraculous new technologies, groundbreaking medical advances. Who knows what secrets are locked inside?
We have unearthed the heart of evil, awakened the beast, unleashed the darkness.
Manuel, please. This isn't the time.
Okay, so is this guy okay, or he's just naturally crazy?
What's wrong with your assistant?
Manuel has a brilliant mind, but he's always been a bit unstable. Genius and madness are two sides of the same coin.
Is it madness to see the future? To see the destruction rushing towards us? To understand there is no escape? No hope? No. I am not mad. I'm the only sane one left.
I gave him an extra dose of his meds after the attack.
I'm gonna take a gamble on this, and I say I'm pretty sure I can make him shut up.
Say goodnight, Manuel.
Whoops.
You cannot silence the truth. My voice must be heard. Ugh.
Oh my God! What did you do?
That might have been a little extreme, Commander.
You can't just go around whacking people in the head.
It was only a matter of time until he did something crazy and dangerous.
I suppose you're right. By the time he wakes up, the meds will have kicked in.
Yeah, I was worried about that. I forgot that. I thought I could ask if I could do something, but I didn't think I would immediately just deck the guy, but whoops. Oh, sorry, Manuel. My bad.
Williams, take us to the spaceport.
Good luck, Commander.
Yeah, ooh, that's a lot of renegade. Lots of renegade. Yeesh, yeah, that jumped at a good amount. Whoops. I can see it's really easy to build renegade here. Whoops, lesson learned. Don't immediately choose the option about punching people. Well, on the bright night, we gotta find an upgrade kit. Let's see what we can upgrade. A bear shotgun. And money. We need money. And I don't need to look at my tarot. Let's see. Yes, please, the bear shotgun.
Saren.
Nihilus.
This isn't your mission, Saren. What are you doing here?
The Council thought you could use some help on this one.
I wasn't expecting to find the Geth here. The situation's bad.
Don't worry. I've got it under control.
Well, I'm pretty sure that was nothing. Well, I'd say that I think it's about a good time we can probably end this here. This is already a pretty lengthy video as it is. And, you know, might as well get some of the first stuff out of the way, you know, right now. And pretty much after this, we'll pretty much be moving on to some more things. I will probably have to explain a few more things in a few more episodes, but again, this is already pretty lengthy as it is, and I feel like this is alright for our first episode. So, thank you all for joining me on the first first video of this Let's Play. Excuse me, by the way. First video of this Let's Play, and I hope you all enjoyed, or at least, you know, tolerate it at least. And hopefully we can actually have a good time going through this Let's Play, and hopefully this is the start of hopefully a good long-running channel. I'm Story Detailer 64, and I'm hoping you all have a good day.